Oh, well hello. I didn't see you guys come in. Welcome to Cooking with Diggy. Today, we're gonna be making chicken and onions, and it's fucking delicious. So, first things first is, you need onions. So I have 2 slices of onions here, about like 1/4 inch thick or so, something like that. Now this is for 1 person, by the way. So what you're gonna do is you got your slices of onions, you're just gonna go in half, like so. Actually, I already have some chicken breast cubed up over here ready to go. Ooh, slapped at that shit. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take our onions, and we have a frying pan back here. So I'm going to grab some extra virgin olive oil, because you know I love those extra virgins. Put a little bit of that in the pan. Turn on some heat, because I like making my virgins hot. I'll just kind of let that go around a little bit. Yep, alright. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our slices of onions, we're going to put them in here. I kind of like to break them up. Just makes life a little bit easier. So we'll do that. Now, for those of you that are, not very old, don't go burning down your fucking parents' house doing this shit. This is only for people that know their way around the kitchen. Alright, so now I've got my onions in there. And what I'm going to do is I have some super secret special seasoning, and actually what it is it's just half a garlic salt, half onion salt. You kind of put it in one of these containers, and you shake it up. And I'm going to season it. I actually don't know how much I put, so don't ask. It's all about, experience. So that's that. And then I'm going to sit here and kind of stir them up a little bit. And this is going to be on high heat at first. Alright, so we're going to let that sit for a second. Alright, and then like I said, I've got my chicken here, already cubed up, but what you would do is, you just want to make little cubes out of it, like I said. I don't know if you can see, but about that size is good, something like so. So I've got my chicken all ready to go, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to let these onions kind of start to heat up a little bit. We're going to be caramelizing them, because they're fucking delicious. So, we're going to do that. And what I serve this on is a bed of rice. So what I use minute rice. And at the store last time, they didn't have minute rice because the store was fucking all cheap and low budget. So apparently I have Springfield fucking rice, but essentially it's the same thing. Alright, and I need a measuring cup. Maybe I think we can dishwasher, maybe not. The cupboard. Ha! Okay. So I have my measuring cup here. And it's equal parts rice to equal parts water. So I'm going to have about 3/4 of a cup of rice. Because that's about how much I like. So you'll put 3/4 of a cup of water in here, and you're going to put it in the pan, or in the pot, and then it's going to get to boiling. Once it's boiling, you're going to have 3/4 of a cup of rice, and you're going to put the rice in there, turn the heat off, and then you're going to let it sit for like 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. So, in the meantime, I'm going to let these start to caramelize here. I'll be back in a second when it's just about...
Alright, and we're back. Just going to show you guys this real quick. Alright, so you want to get the onions to about, maybe like so. Where they're kind of starting to carbonize a little bit. You can see that there. Okay, and then what you're going to do, excuse me, we're going to turn the heat down, kind of like a medium-low. And I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil in there. Yep. That's good. Alright, so now that the heat's down low, we got some more olive oil in there. Gonna let these sit a little bit longer, so you'll be able to kind of tell how this is gonna work out. As you watch, you can compare to what you have, I guess. Because to be honest, I cook and I cook well, and I make delicious food. But I can't give you a fucking recipe to save my life because I just do everything by sight, by taste, by experience. So you guys are gonna have to play with this a little bit yourself. Full homo. And I'll be back once the onions are ready for the chicken to get. Alright, and we're back once again. So now let me show you what the onions are starting to look like here. They look just about the same, but the thing is they've been sitting in here simmering in this beautiful olive oil for a while. And you want the onions to be limp. That's not what she said. But for this particular instance, you want the onions to be limp and looking about like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to set this down so I can do this. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the heat
we've already got our 3/4 of a cup of water in here, so we're going to turn the heat on to that all the way high so we can get it to boiling. And at the same time, we're going to turn the heat up on this just a little bit, and we're going to add our chicken. So here goes the chicken. Alright, so now that we got the chicken in there, we're going to season it again using the special seasoning here. About like that's good. And we're just going to mix that all around real nice, right? You guys can see what's going on here, kind of. You want the olive oil to get on the chicken so it doesn't stick to the pan. Because that sucks when the chicken sticks to the pan. So I'm going to mix this all around, get the onions all mixed in with it for the flavor. And turn the heat down just a little bit. So now this is what it should look like. So you just got your chicken in there, cooking with the onions, and for some reason, I don't know why, but there's some kind of a reaction between when the chicken is cooking along with the onions, it makes the onions really caramelize, and basically to the point where they're so soft that you don't even have to chew them, they just kind of fall apart in your mouth, and it's really delicious. So we're going to let that go, and you want to stir it occasionally, of course, and we're waiting for our water to boil over there. We're getting pretty close, but not quite, so I'm going to stir this up a little bit. That was me smacking the shit out of my dumbass dog, because he thinks that he owns the fucking kitchen. And he's like, oh, is there shit on the counter that I can eat? No, there isn't, motherfucker. Get the hell out of here. Alright, so now the chicken's getting pretty close to cooked all the way through on the outside. So I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. Our water's boiling, so we're going to take our 3/4 of a cup of rice, and put it in there. And I'm going to stir it up just a little bit, get all those little pieces of rice in the water there. And then we're going to put the lid on it, and we're going to turn the heat off. Just let that sit while our chicken cooks, and I'll be back when all this is done. Alright, and we're back. So now, this is what it's looking like here. Fucking delicious. Alright, so now it's time for the rice. This is what we're going to do here. This is one thing I can't actually give you some measurements on. I mean, I gave you the 3/4 cup, whatever, that's for like one person. But I use 2 tablespoons of butter. Put that bitch in there, bam. Alright, now I'm going to grab some of this here. Try and open it with one fucking hand. It's not going to work very good. Alright, there we go. Okay, now this is going to be garlic powder. Hey, you don't want too much. Just want to kind of about like so. You guys can see that. Alright, so there's that. Then we're going to go right back to our very special mixture here. And this is all by taste. So what you're going to do is, you're going to just sprinkle some in there, and then we're going to stir it up. So I'm going to put this down while I stir it up. See, make sure you guys can see that. Alright. So here we go. Put some heat on to help melt the butter. And we're going to stir it up here, let the butter melt. Mix in all the salt and garlic powder. Also, I've noticed that putting the butter in and turning the heat on actually kind of makes the rice a lot creamier for some reason, rather than just melting the butter in it using the heat that the rice already has from sitting in the boiling water. So that's a pro tip for you. And meanwhile, we got our chicken simmering over here a little bit. So what I'm going to do, since the rice is almost done, I'm going to turn the heat up on the chicken just a little bit. So now that the butter is almost melted, we can turn the heat off. And just continue stirring here, let the butter melt some more. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to taste it. And hopefully not burn the fuck out of my mouth. Still missing. So we're going to have to put some more garlic salt in there. Alright, and we're going to stir that up. You want to make sure you stir it real good. You don't want to have, like, some of the rice is really salty and some of it's not at all. So you want to mix it up nice. Let's give that a taste. You shut your fucking mouth. Just a little bit more, and that should do it. Alright, so I'm going to mix this up. Just about finished here, so now that we got the rice done, the chicken and onions are done, now all we got to do is serve it up and then eat it. And it's fucking delicious. So I'm going to get back to you guys when I'm serving it up. So this is how you serve it up. Take your rice here, kind of put it on the plate. And then what I like to do is I like to make it into like a bed of rice. So kind of just smush it around here kind of in a circle. Something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you kind of just mash the top a little bit. So now we got our bed of rice. Look at that. Looks very comfortable for our little chicken. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chicken and onions on top of that. Alright, and then some of them kind of fell off, so I always put them back on top where they belong. Something like that, or so. That shit's hot. And you put a fork in it, and it's fucking done. And this is Diggy's famous, holy shit, chicken and onions, or as the Spanish people would call it, arroz con pollo. But this has been your man, Pro Diggy, from the motherfucking Chaos Cooking crew. But you could call me Diggy if you like. Don't forget, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in our sights.